Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're talking Atlanta Hawks. DeJounte Murray, Trae Young, it's going to be one hell of a season. Welcome back to the channel, though, man. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. We're trying to hit 15K relatively soon. As always, hit that like button and drop some comments on your thoughts on this video. Now, Atlanta's one of the most intriguing young teams in the entire league. Actually, we look at their offseason, and here's their offseason just real quick. Some key additions include DeJounte freaking Murray. We'll talk about that later. Justin Holiday, very, very solid role player. Aaron Holiday, another very solid role player. Mo Harkless, and then your rookie draft pick, AJ Griffin. Now, the Hawks, keep this in mind. They did lose some pieces, but I think at the end of the day, the pieces that they lost, they're not as good as the pieces that they gained, and we'll explain this in a second. Danilo Gallinari, he's solid. DeLon Wright, I think DeLon Wright is actually probably the biggest loss for the Atlanta Hawks in this offseason. I do think Atlanta should continue to pursue a more veteran backup point guard. I like Aaron Holiday. I like Sharife Cooper. I don't know. I would imagine Aaron Holiday would get the nod over Sharife Cooper because Sharife is extremely young. But I will say this. You know, there's guys out there like Eric Bledsoe. There's guys out there like Dennis Schroeder. I liked what DeLon did, though. Offers you defense and offers you playmaking. Can do a little bit of... He can do a little bit of everything on the offensive end, but he's a very solid defender, which is why I'm eyeing Eric Bledsoe as a possible signing for Atlanta. Let me know what you guys think. So, DeLon Wright, Danilo Gallinari, and then you have Kevin Huerter, Kevin Knox, Gorgui Dieng, and Jock Landale. So I think, you lost a bunch of pieces, but you also actually gained a bunch of pieces. And I think really, especially with DeJounte Murray, I think at the end of the day, you improved. Now, here's the thing. The Hawks had a quote-unquote disappointing season this past year. But keep in mind, the year before that, when they made the Eastern Conference Finals, they're way ahead of schedule. And I mean way ahead of schedule. I don't think people really realize, outside of Atlanta Hawk fans and maybe just diehard NBA fans, how good Trae Young is. Guys, Trae Young's 24. I mean, I would put him right there with Luka Doncic. I mean, for some reason, I don't know if it's his height, and this is actually something my boy Aaron was talking about on our NBA show a couple days ago, now that I think about it. The Luka Doncic, Trae Young, I'm not necessarily trying to compare Trae to any players, especially Luka, because they're both great in their own regards. But it got me thinking, why doesn't Trae Young get the respect like a cat like Luka Doncic? They're putting up very similar statistics. You could literally argue Trae Young is better than Luka Doncic, but for some reason, I really don't hear Trae Young's name that much. And keep it, if you see this play, I'm a huge Chicago Bulls fan. For some reason, Trae Young and the Atlanta Hawks, they don't come up in conversation much. So shout out to my boy Sirio Aseo, who I host my daily live NBA show with. The link is in the description. We have their, I guess, projected roster at this point. Now, I will say this before we get into this. The Hawks are not done. I mean, they're not done for a second. Their bench is enticing. Okay, you got guys like Aaron Holiday. Maybe Sharife plays. You got AJ Griffin, your brand new rookie. Hopefully he can stay healthy. I love a good Duke cat. But at the end of the day, I mean, you still have a good bench. Aaron Holiday, AJ Griffin, Bogdanovich, Harkless, Okongwu, Kaminsky, Johnson. You've got a pretty enticing bench. So if it hasn't been clear to you, the Hawks are more of a longer term, can they win the championship this year? Theoretically, yes, but I view it as more of a couple-year process where they do what they did this year, where you got DeJounte Murray, and you just kind of continue to stack. You just continue to build. I mean, rosters are built in a whole season. They're built in a whole season. So I think the DeJounte Trae Young backcourt, while some people might have defensive issues with it, or defensive worries, I should say, I think that they're going to be explosive. I think that they are going to definitely be a backcourt that should be, I don't know if worried is the word I'm looking for, but I guess we'll run with worried. I mean, you shouldn't look forward to playing Trae Young and DeJounte Murray. That's not something you're going to look forward to as an opposing defense. looking at their offensive lineup, Trae Young, DeJounte Murray, DeAndre Hunter, John Collins, and Clint Capella. And it gets me thinking, like I just said, I highly doubt they're done. I highly doubt it. If it doesn't happen in this offseason per se, I think it'll happen at some point leading up to the trade deadline this upcoming season. And if it doesn't, then it's definitely going to come next offseason. Atlanta's looking actually really good for the long term. But if you're trying to get to that next level, first off, the trade for DeJounte Murray, star player, is a step in the right direction. But if we're talking legitimate final contenders, because you look at this Atlanta Hawks roster, I view a very talented team. They were, ranked 26th on defense next year. They need to make defensive improvements, which you can kind of see in some of their signings or draft picks or what have you. I view Atlanta as anywhere between, I don't think they'll get 1 or 2. I'm sorry, Hawks fans. If this video hits a Hawks algorithm, I'm very sorry. I'm not trying to be a douche. I don't think they'll get 1 and 2 this season quite yet. But I can view them as a 3 seed. I could view them all the way to a 7th seed, but I would honestly view them probably like somewhere between 4 and 6. That's where I would place Atlanta this upcoming season. If I had to get more specific, I would go 4 or 5. If I had to lock down an Atlanta Hawks prediction right now on video, which I guess I'm forcing myself to do, I'm putting it at 4 or 5. 4 or 5. John Collins, I don't think lasts long. I saw a trade video. Dude, this hat is fucking me up. I saw a proposed trade where you have Kelly Oubre come to the Atlanta Hawks in return for John Collins. It wasn't like a 1-for-1 swap. There were, a bunch of fillers in there and stuff. But that's a move in the right direction. I'm not the biggest John Collins fan, to be quite honest with you. I think that, to be real, if we're being frank here and Hawks fans, bro, I really hope this has hit the algorithm and you're still watching this video, and I hope you don't I hope you don't take this personal, because it's not what I'm intending. I just think that the Hawks, whether it's this year or whether it's next year, whether it's in the future, I think moving on from John Collins might be the move. I'm not trying to compare John Collins to like a Jeremy Grant or a Christian Wood, but I think for the salary that he commands, I do think you could look elsewhere. I think it's at least open to the idea of looking elsewhere with John Collins. The reason being is there's some defensive issues, I guess. I'll throw defensive issues and just commitment issues. It really appears that John Collins has had it. He's had his tenure with the Atlanta Hawks. I don't really know what the reason being for that is. It seems like he has a perfectly fine role. But you won't catch me complaining, because I think John Collins is maybe like a solid 4th option on a championship team. I'm so sorry, bro. I'm making this video in my mom's basement. Like, I really hope he proves me wrong. I really freaking hope he proves me wrong. But if I look at the Hawks roster right now and I'm thinking somebody's going to break out, I'm going with DeAndre Hunter. I'm not going with John Collins. I think we've seen what we've seen from John Collins at this point. I think Trae Young really accelerates what he provides. And I think if you look at a cat like DeAndre Hunter and you can develop him properly, which it seems like Atlanta's on the right track of, I think you really have a nice little gem there. So I view this Atlanta team as anywhere realistically between 3 to 7, but I would put them, if I had to make a prediction, between 4 and 5. I think if I had to make a legitimate single prediction, I'd probably go 5, just because of the Eastern Conference made a lot of important, critical, improving moves, just like the Hawks did. But like I said, man, I have my issues with John Collins, and I don't know if DeAndre Hunter's breakout year will necessarily be this year. He's definitely on the right track, though. So you have Trae Young, you have DeJounte Murray, you have DeAndre Hunter, you have John Collins, you have Clint Capella. Right now, that is a very capable, legitimate contending team. As far as starters are concerned, that is, you have talent, bro. But when I look at the bench, I do think there's some holes that need to be filled, and I do anticipate the Atlanta Hawks to actually fill those holes. So that's it for today, man. I'm about to go drive and get some ice cream. I got chocolate strawberry last time. I don't know if I'm feeling the same thing tonight. I think I might go chocolate cookie dough. I'm feeling a little sweet tooth. This video is you're not gaining anything from this video. So appreciate you guys. Hit the like button, hit that sub button, and I'll catch you cats later. But most importantly, actually, drop a comment down below. What do you think about the Atlanta Hawks this upcoming season?